You just smile through the pain. If I'm crying, ask me why I'm crying. Hello beautiful people, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, my name is Anne, and if you're a returning subscriber, as always, thank you so much for coming back. Well, as you can tell by the title, today I'll be telling you the story of when I was coming to America for the first time ever. If you ask anyone who migrated from a different country to the US, one has a story. I'm gonna say mine today. So the backstory, I came here when I was in high school, SHS. After the first sem of Form 2 that I came to the US. My dad came from here to pick us up. I came here with my brother. We came here in the month of September. But we came to Accra with my dad. Me and my brother and Kofi, we came Accra earlier. And then on the day that we were coming here, my sister, my older sister, and my mom came to say their goodbyes. It was a really emotional goodbye. I shed a tear because I've been with my mom at that time for almost all my life. I was almost 16 at that time, so I've been with my mom all the time. So we went to the airport, we made our goodbyes, and then we started walking. Oh, let me show you something. I wore this jean jacket when I was coming. Yeah, I've had it for 4 years. So I wore that jean jacket and my with a jean trousers and some sneakers. Hair braided long, but at that time we walked like a long mile. Not a long mile, but it seemed like a long mile. And we walked. I was like following my dad because he was the one who knew around, obviously. So we just kept walking, following him. I kept turning back to see if I could see my mom. Oh my god. We boarded the plane and everything. The plane had the 2 window seats, the 4 middle seats. 3 or 4, I don't remember. I think it's 4. And then 2 other window seats on one line. So me, my brother, and my dad sat in the 4th row with someone else at the end. At that time, I think that man was even a Ghanaian. And you know, when you meet people like that from Ghana and you are like on the plane together and you're coming here for the first time, they give you advice. Don't be that child, don't be the bad child, don't come here and disgrace your father and all that stuff. So yeah, and then on the plane, funny thing, this man, I think it was a white man, he ordered black coffee and they were asking which drinks we wanted. Instead of me to order apple juice or like orange juice, I was like, I want to try the black coffee because I'm really a curious person, someone who likes to try different things. So I'm always open to different things. So when I had that opportunity, I knew I had to seize it. So I'm like, can I also try the coffee? And the way that coffee scalded my tongue, I was traumatized. I was traumatized from that time. We went from Ghana to Washington DC and then Washington DC to Boston because I live in Massachusetts. So we had to come to the national airport in Boston. So when we reached Washington DC, oh my god, the lights when you're up above, it's so beautiful. Like, oh my god, the lights are so beautiful. They'll be like, oh yeah, that's how it is. The people that have been here, yeah, that's how beautiful it is. Kind of bluffing. I'm like, oh okay, it looked so beautiful. I just couldn't stop watching. And then when we got down, we went to get our luggage and then took another plane to Boston. And when we reached Boston, my dad's phone battery was low, so he couldn't call the person that was coming to pick us up from the airport. And mind you, the ride from Ghana to Washington DC is like 12 hours or something like that. Yeah, and the At that time there was no COVID. Good times. There was no COVID, and the air conditioning in the plane was blasting at like a way lower degree, and I hadn't really been in like colder places. I've obviously been in Ghana. You go to some places, they have air conditioning and all that, but it's not that similar to the one that is in the plane. So we had that blast of air conditioning for 12 hours, and look at this jean jacket, and it was bigger than me at that time. I was way thinner. It was bigger than me at that time, so I could really feel it. And the blankets they give you in the plane, very bad. The blankets they give you, it's so thin. I remember when I was coming back from Ghana. I went to Ghana in 2020. When I was coming back, at that time, the people, you know, the COVID-19, people weren't a lot in the plane, so I was able to get 2 blankets, and even with that I was still very cold. The air conditioning in the plane, it's a different breed, so you need a heavier blanket if you're coming, but I didn't know that. And the blanket, oh my god, it was so thin. I was so cold. And when we reached the airport in Boston, and my dad's phone was dead, so he had to charge it, and I think he said we should go stand outside or something like that. And that time, September, so it was like the fall is still very cold. Fall is closer to winter, so it's so cold. I was so cold. I was shaking, and the wind on that day particularly, it was brutal. So the wind kept splashing on our face. I was so cold. And then finally the person that came to pick us up came, and in the car that they picked us up in, air conditioning was on too. When you have hairs on your legs or your thighs and you wear jeans, I don't know, for me personally, I don't even like jeans because of that, because when I wear jeans for a long time and the hairs attaches to the jeans, so I don't know, it's so painful. I don't know if anyone has experienced that before. If you have experienced that, comment below to confirm. But I have a lot of hair on my, not a lot, but some hair on my thigh and my legs, and the jeans being in that coat really attached to the hair, so it was so painful, and it was like scratching my body, and it was so painful. And coming outside plus that cold, and then in the cold from the car, so cold. So I was like so quiet, and me, when I meet people that I don't really know, I'm so quiet. So I was so quiet the whole ride, and the person that came to pick us up was like, oh, why are you quiet and stuff like that. And I was like, oh, you know, you just smile through the pain. And I was so and when stuff like that happen, like when you come for the first time and you're like suffering like that, like, is this America? I don't want to be here. I want to go back. I started to tear up a little bit, and they were like, oh, you're crying, why are you crying? Why would you ask me that? If I'm crying, don't ask me why I'm crying, or like, or why are you crying and all that. It like makes me want to cry more, and I cried more, and they were like, oh, you missed your mom, oh, cry baby and all that. Still they tease me about that, but I was so cold, so uncomfortable, so much in pain. I was like crying, weeping. I was now that I remember, it's kind of funny, but I was like in pain. If you know that feeling with the jean and the hairs on the thighs, you know what I'm saying. It's so painful, and I was just bawling my eyes out. And then I think from Boston to where we lived, it's like 2 hours drive, but we didn't go straight home. We went to shop in like African shops, like go around. I was like, is this America? And the place that we live, when you the roads, it doesn't look like the America in movies that we see when I was way back in Ghana. And then we went home. Oh, and when we reached home, I didn't know the taps brought hot water when you turn it on. I didn't get scalded, but my brother my brother got scalded because he turned it and the hot water like spurted out and his back like got burnt and all that. But hope you enjoyed this story time. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share for more videos. Thank you so much for watching.